Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. It is great to be with you, and especially because it's Friday. We made it through this second week of the new year, and we're real delighted to be here with you on Let's Talk Nutrition 2016. A couple of guests today. Stephen Wicks will probably be calling, right? Is that who you're looking at me? Don't look at me like that. You're looking at me as Stephen Wicks, right? Don't say I don't know. You're supposed to know. You got to help me out here, buddy.
Well, Steven, I go by the show schedule.
Stephen, you have to instruct Josh on.
You just say yes to whatever Doc says.
Yes. Yes.
Don't tell him that.
Yes.
Stephen, don't tell him that. You're supposed to help. Stephen Wicks, right, Stephen?
No, Steve Augustine.
No, it's Stephen Wicks.
See?
Well, the show schedule says otherwise.
Now he's arguing with me on air.
Mm-hmm. I just gave him the instructions.
I'll talk to you on the break.
Oh.
You don't argue with the host on the air. I'm kidding.
I'm just being a robot, man. Yes.
That's why Steven's behind the glass.
So he can't throw stuff at me.
Have fun
Neil Levin.
Yeah, Neil would be well, you redeemed yourself.
So I'm trying hard here.
Neil will be along in the second hour. Stephen Wicks, there's a difference between Stephen Wicks and Stephen Augustine because not only their name, one's in Florida, one's in South Africa. Stephen Wicks is in South Africa. I'll be talking to Stephen in a moment. You'll like him. He's a good guy, knows his stuff, and he always has something interesting to talk about. And what he wants to talk about, you will find quite relevant. Before I get to Stephen Wicks and not Augustine, I wanted to remind you that the new dietary guidelines are out. I had alluded to them earlier in the month. And these dietary guidelines for Americans, and it's 2015-2020. And I would recommend that you go to a search engine and type in new dietary guidelines for Americans 2015-2020. And in those guidelines, they talk about consuming less sugar, salt, and saturated fat. Okay. And this is an important message. Salt, sugar, and fat, unhealthy fat, that trio has found its way into the food chain, especially processed, refined foods, fast foods, convenience foods, whatever you want to call them. And they have caused a lot of concern among dietitians and nutritionists and healthcare professionals generally. because they're having an effect that was really not. Nobody really understood what was going to happen here as processed food became a dominant a dominant source of food for Americans. And now it's turning out to be a primary avenue of nutrition in other countries as well. So there was a story in light of that. And again, I urge you to take a look at the guidelines. There's something to learn there. Now, there's been some criticism of those guidelines. I'll leave that for another day. Notwithstanding the criticism, I think there's something to learn from those guidelines. I think even healthcare professionals can learn something from the guidelines. The way they're laid out. You can learn a lot about diet and nutrition and lifestyle from reading these guidelines, in my opinion. Well, it turns out there was a story trending, and the headline on the story, I had this on my list of things to talk about the other day, never got to it. And the title of the article, it was The Evidence for Saturated Fat and for Sugar Related to Coronary Heart Disease. The evidence for saturated fat and for sugar related to coronary heart disease. Now, the truth be told, there has been this ongoing argument. Typically, people don't argue too much about salt and sugar and the deleterious effects associated with their overconsumption. Where things get a little haywire and controversial is this business with fat. I'm on record, and maybe I'm in a minority these days. I don't know. I don't care. I'm on record to say that a overconsumption of saturated fat is not a good idea. There are some who disagree with me and others who take the position that I have adopted. And that's fine. They can eat saturated fat till it's coming out of their ears. That's their choice. I'm not going to do it. And this particular study, Dr. Nico Lantonio and Lucan and O'Keefe, there were 3 authors on the study, point out that there is an abundant amount of evidence now to make this correlation between saturated fat and sugar being risk factors for coronary heart disease. It's both, and I've been saying that all along. The argument about fat comes about, it's a long-standing argument. It's gone on for decades. Ever since the 7-country study, Ansel Keys' study, this debate has raged. And many believe that an overconsumption of saturated fat raises cholesterol levels, which contributes to heart disease. In their attempt to point out that it's these carbohydrates, these refined carbohydrates that are jacked with sugar, glucose, is really the culprit. They've tried to diminish this consumption of saturated fat as being dangerous. It's not either or. Why can't it be both? I think the overconsumption of saturated fat, salt, sugar, and the 3 S's, salt, sugar, and saturated fat, those 3 can wreck when you consume them on a consistent daily, almost people are doing it on a daily basis in large quantities, will wreck your health. I don't know what in the devil they're arguing about. I don't know why they're saying, well, it's not the fat. Fat is not the culprit. And they typically argue that within the context of heart disease, and that you would think that we only had one system in the body, the cardiovascular system. I got a news bulletin for those people. Go review the literature. High-fat diets is correlated with colorectal cancer, prostate cancer. I could go on and on. It's not just your heart, man. So if you want to take the advice of those who say don't worry about the fat, I think you do that at your own peril. That's my opinion. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. When I do those kinds of things that I just did, I'm not functioning as a journalist. I'm functioning as a commentator. Just make that distinction. That's my view about it. I can't come on the air and say to people, don't worry about the fat. It's those carbs you got to worry about. No, you got to worry about both.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our number one ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA-certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at nordicnaturals.com.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Is your skin showing signs of aging? Do you want hair with more body and stronger nails? Add Neocell's Super Collagen Plus C to your daily routine to help you regain your youthful, vibrant appearance. Collagen is the body's key structural protein, and it is critical to the elasticity and strength of connective tissues like skin, ligaments, and tendons. Recent clinical studies suggest that supplementing with collagen may reduce wrinkles and increase the firmness of your skin, improve the thickness of your hair, and strengthen your nails. Previously, medical studies also show a wide range of benefits from collagen supplements that may help with your joint pain, bone strength, and exercise recovery. Neocell's Super Collagen Plus C provides 100% pure collagen that's hydrolyzed for maximum absorption. Results are felt and seen within weeks. Super Collagen Plus C promotes a healthy body by providing specialized nutritional support to help fight the effects of aging. Neocell's Super Collagen Plus C products are available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Neural Balance with Anandinol. Restore calm, reduce aggression, and increase well-being. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Canavest, from seed to shelf. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. My guest in this first portion of the show is Stephen Wicks. Stephen is in South Africa, I'm presuming, unless he's vacationing somewhere in the Caribbean. I don't know. We'll find out. Stephen is one of the educators for Wampanoag America and also an educator for Moducare. Moducare is an interesting product, interesting history. We've talked about it before. And I had a chance to talk with Stephen in person. I was in Baltimore around September 17th. And in fact, on September 17th, 2015 at 10:37 a.m., a photograph was taken of me and Stephen when I was interviewing with him. We'll see if we can get that posted. Stephen, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Happy New Year.
Michael, same to you. Happy New Year. Compliments of the new season to you, and hope 2016 is going to be a good year for all of us.
God willing. I presume you are. Where are you today?
I'm as normal in my home office in Kyolic, a small little village or town just outside of Durban on the east coast of South Africa.
Good. How are things in South Africa these days?
All good. Our currency has taken a bit of a dive lately against the major currencies of the world, but otherwise we're bearing up. Well, things are good.
Politically, things are stable?
Things are returning to normal. Never stable in a country like ours, which is very challenging to live in, but returning to normal. So we are grateful for that.
Giving my producer, there's another photograph there, Josh. You can send that one too. I don't know if you recall when you were in Baltimore at the trade show, you were on my show and they took a bunch of photos. We're trying to get a couple of them up so people can see what you look like.
Okay.
So, you've been on my show before and we've talked about Moducare. The only time I really talk about it is when you come on, and that's unfortunate because it's such a terrific product. I'm very fond of it. I think it serves a wonderful purpose. Since you've been on last, this show now airs coast to coast and even in Hawaii. So lots of people have now joined the audience since you've been on last. So they may or may not know about Moducare. Can you do a real quick primer on what it is?
Absolutely. Moducare is a daily immune support product that can be taken every day for the rest of your day, for the rest of your life, every single day. It is a product that will do two functions to the immune system. It'll either enhance an underactive immune system, or most critically, it'll reduce an overactive immune system. So it's an immune modulator, an immune balancer, as opposed to an immune booster. Traditionally, we don't really want to boost the immune system when the immune system is in a dysfunctional state. Moducare, as a daily immune support product, will help rectify the balance and restore the balance to immune function.
Okay, so we're showing one image. See if you can get that other one up too, Josh. If you're watching the show, there's Stephen. We've known each other for quite a while. That was the first time we were able to meet face to face and have a conversation, right?
That's correct. We've spoken over on the telephone and over the radio for a number of years right now.
Mm-hmm. And I always enjoy my conversations with you, Stephen. You have
Thank you.
A very authentic way of talking about things, and people appreciate that. You're understandable, and you talk about it in a way that makes sense. Now, I take Moducare, I take it every day, but I don't take it for my immune system. I take it for my prostate.
Right.
Maybe that's a little TMI. Too much information. But I'm just saying that's why I take it. Now, people are going to say, wait a minute. You had the guy just explain what it is. The word prostate never came out of his mouth. Explain to the listeners and the viewers why I'm doing that.
All right.
And don't say I don't know.
What you're actually doing in order to maintain good prostate health is the results and what you're trying to achieve has been published in numerous pharmaceutical journals. The British Journal of Urology is one that has been published. That the active ingredients within Moducare were used for over 20 years in Germany as the first or the mainline choice of urologists when they were treating BPH. So in other words, what I was saying to you is that the sterols and sterolins, the active ingredient within Moducare, was the first-line choice of urologists over and above allopathic drugs for the treatment of BPH. So you're doing yourself absolutely no harm.
BPH is benign prostate hyperplasia. That's when the cells of the prostate gland begin to grow and the prostate enlarges and then begins to crimp down on the urethra, which runs through the center of it. And men will tell you that it can just be a very annoying condition and disorder. Keep that image up of Stephen and I. Thank you. And Stephen, when we come back, you alluded to sterols and sterolins. When we come back, he'll tell you what they are. And they come from plants, and they're fat.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness, BSN, Finish First, Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils, Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation, Natural Factors, where great health begins, Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless, A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition 2016 and end of the week, and glad you were able to tune in today. All shows are on demand at letstalknutrition.com. The videos, because the show streams, as well as the audio. And, of course, Let's Talk Nutrition is coast to coast and way out there on the left side of our country. If you go a little further west, you come to Hawaii, and we're there as well. And today we're in South Africa because my guest, Stephen Wicks, lives in a small town near Durban, and he's calling in, and we appreciate it. Was it like a 6-hour difference, Stephen?
It's a 7-hour difference right now with your time change.
So what time is it there now?
It's just after 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 4:35 in the afternoon. I alluded to the fact that the ingredients in Moducare are plant fats, and you had alluded to them yourself. And when you mentioned sterols and sterolins, I opened the show talking about fats today. Some people may get the wrong impression and think that I think all fats are bad and unhealthy. No, that's not true. And what I'm talking about is saturated fat consumed in excess is risky business. Again, I'm on record for saying that, and I'm sticking to my story. So far, the evidence convinces me of that. Nevertheless, plants do have fats in them, and these sterols and sterolins are especially interesting, aren't they, Stephen?
Exactly, and I totally agree with your sentiments and what you alluded to earlier on regarding fats. They're good fats and they're bad fats, and the sterols and sterolins that are within Moducare are plant fats. Fats, just like there's animal fats and cholesterol, there's plant fats, and sterols and sterolins fall into the plant fat family and are essential nutrients in terms of our diet and what we consume every day.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, as Stephen was mentioning, the product these days is primarily sold and marketed for the purpose of modulating your immune system. And Stephen mentioned you can take it every day. If your immune system is underactive or overactive, Moducare will help to modulate it, hence the name of the product, and try to bring it back into homeostasis or balance. It's a wonderful product for that. For middle-aged men and older, men that are walking the earth before electricity was invented, you might want to consider using Moducare for your prostate. It's very therapeutic, and there's research to support that. So it originally started that way, but they discovered its immune properties as well. And so I just wanted to make sure we understand all of that. Let me ask you, Stephen, when you talk to people, and I know you get around, and you have around the world, and so you had a lot of contact with people talking about this product. You're an expert in it. What do beyond the science? What do people tell you anecdotally about the product? What do they share? What are some of the kinds of testimonials or comments they make about Moducare to you?
I've been involved with Moducare for the last 17, 18 years in various different capacities, and ultimately where I am now. And the most touching or heartwarming anecdotal comments or information that has been imparted to me is that how Moducare has actually changed people's lives. And it's specifically those people that have autoimmune dysfunction where the immune system is dysfunctional and they're susceptible to either allergies or autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, MS, things like that. And after taking Moducare, we've never maintained that Moducare cures anything. But what we do maintain is that, and we've seen it anecdotally and scientifically, that Moducare certainly does make a difference to people's lives. And if they supplement it with it regularly and are religious in their regimen, their treatment regimen, it certainly does make a difference to a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I'm a big fan of the product. By the way, that time when you were back in 2015 when you were on my show, Dr. Ronald Hoffman was on that day as well. And I came across an article where he was singing the praises of sterols and sterolins, too, as it turns out, when I was doing my research this morning to prepare for the show. He's also a big fan of sterols and sterolins, Dr. Ronald Hoffman. His show, I don't know if it's still on WHNZ, but it used to air in the afternoon when I was on in the afternoon right before me. So I'm on in the morning now. But Dr. Ronald Hoffman's been around a long time. I have a lot of respect for him. But he's also a fan of sterols and sterolins. So people who suffer from autoimmune diseases gravitate towards Moducare is what I inferred from your comment.
Yes, it's because the mode of action of what the sterols and sterolins, these good plant fats, which are, by the way, are found in every single plant that we ingest, contains these good plant fats. And what the plant fats do is that they have specific actions on cells of the immune system. So, for instance, if somebody had an autoimmune process happening in their bodies, their immune system is therefore overactive. Moducare, or to modulate the immune system, has this unique action over and above what an immune booster would do. Because you don't really want to boost a dysfunctional immune system. If your immune system is overactive, you don't really want to boost it in that dysfunctional state. One would rather modulate or switch off the overactive immune system. And in doing that, it also has the effect of switching on an underactive immune system. So somebody who is susceptible to chronic infections all the time, consistent viral infections, bacterial infections, if they supplemented every single day, their immune systems will be primed and optimal, balanced, and ready to fight off these different invaders.
And there have been a number of different randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind trials on sterol and like beta-cytosterol, beta-cystosterol, depending on how you want to pronounce it, and these sterols and sterols and sterolins generally. There was one study entitled "A Pilot Study of Clinical Effects of a Mixture of Beta-cytosterol and Beta-cytosterol Glucoside in Active Rheumatoid Arthritis." I could give you a bunch of other titles. My point is that the science of plant sterols and sterolins is there, and that is the ingredient. Those are the ingredients in Moducare. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK, toll-free number. You are listening to Stephen Wicks on Let's Talk Nutrition, Coast to Coast.
Is your fish oil wildly pure? New Chapter is proud to offer a whole food approach to fish oil, Whole Mega. Naturally pure 100% wild-caught salmon comes from the pristine waters of Alaska. Like extra virgin olive oil, the fresh-caught salmon for Whole Mega is pressed immediately after harvest. And that's all that's needed to deliver wild Alaskan salmon's whole complement of vital omega fatty acids. These omegas support your heart health. One serving of Whole Mega per day, 2 grams, has been clinically shown to help retain healthy triglyceride levels and to improve the omega-3 index, a studied marker of heart health. And did you know experts recommend consuming 2 to 3 servings of fish per week? So 1 week of Whole Mega delivers the omegas of 3 servings of wild Alaskan salmon. Discover the New Chapter difference, wildly pure Whole Mega. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local Fine Health food store.
Are you suffering from those awful allergies? Hay fever, sneezing, watery eyes? Here's some advice you won't want to miss.
I'm a doctor, and my patients used to dread allergy season. But then I discovered A-Vogel Allergy Relief, a unique combination of natural ingredients that usually addresses every one of my patients' symptoms. And while it's clear that the vast majority of my patients benefit significantly from A-Vogel Allergy Relief, what's even more amazing is that after using it, at least half of my patients' symptoms didn't return. As a doctor, that's the kind of outcome my patients and I can appreciate.
Get doctor-recommended A-Vogel Allergy Relief for your allergy symptoms. It's proven safe, it doesn't make you drowsy, it's fast-acting, and it may even help prevent your allergies from returning. Available at vitamin discount centers, Richards, Rollin' Oats, Vitamin Shop, Nutrition Smart, and other fine health food stores.
At Canavest, we believe that the future of hemp is unlimited, and through innovative and responsible application and science, we will enhance the prosperity and well-being of our customers, employees, and communities. As pioneers, our long-term goal at Canavest is to locate hemp seed processing mills near to our future family of hemp farmers. These local factories will convert hemp seed into nutritious oil, protein powders, bread flour, and hemp meal. Canavest supports local efforts and believes that sustainability starts locally. Canavest was named one of the Nutritional Outlook's Best of 2014, and we are committed to pioneering the hemp revolution as the world's leading producer of quality hemp-derived CBD products. Resistance to change is in great part the result of trying to do today's job with yesterday's tools and with yesterday's concepts. The hemp revolution is here, and it's up to all of us to change perception and to impact policy. Will you join us in this movement? Learn more about the education and science behind Canavest at canavest.com.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charge tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chago Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by NeoCell, the true science of collagen. Enzymatica, the enzyme experts. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Nutrix Hawaii, more nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Stephen Wicks is my guest in this portion of the show, educator for Moducare. And Moducare is a wonderful dietary supplement Been around a long time. How many years has that product been on the market, Stephen?
We launched Moducare into North America, both Canada and the U.S. in 1997, 1998.
Right.
So time ago.
And for those of you who are not familiar with Moducare, it is a product constituted of sterols and sterolins, and they're in the right ratio. I'm working on memory here. Is the ratio 100 to 1?
That's correct. The ratio of sterols and sterolins is as found in Moducare, and as is most commonly the average ratio of the sterols to sterolins in nature is 100 to 1. It's also, coincidentally, the ratio of sterols in all the scientific evidence and the research that we've done to show that this ratio is the optimal ratio of sterols and sterolins.
Do you recommend? Do you recommend that the Moducare be taken on an empty stomach?
Yes, we do recommend that because the molecular structure of the sterols and sterolins being plant fat is very similar to cholesterol animal fat. So they're absorbed at the same receptor sites within the intestine. So what you want to do is maximize the absorption of your sterols and sterolins before cholesterol arrives. So you therefore inhibit the absorption of cholesterol. That is why you find sterols and stanols in bread spreads or margarines, etc., is to lower cholesterol because the molecular structure is very similar.
Yeah, I was reading. I think it was in the piece where Dr. Hoffman was referenced, talking about not to consume or take a Moducare when you're eating foods containing cholesterol. You don't want to do those. You want to separate them. Is that right?
That's correct, because as I mentioned earlier, the molecular structure of cholesterol, animal fat, and sterols, your plant fat, are very, very similar, and they absorbed at the same receptors in the small intestine.
Yeah, they compete for absorption.
Yeah, they compete. Yes, they compete for absorption. So you want to ingest and consume the sterols and sterolins or Moducare in the absence of any animal fat.
You can't. Is it true that you could take the Moducare if you ate fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds?
If your diet was devoid of all cholesterol or animal fat, yes, you could certainly take it with your meal. Like vegans, vegetarians can take. As long as their diet is free of any animal fat, you could take it with your meal. That's not a problem at all.
Right, and what Stephen's referring to, the cholesterol that's found in animal fat, that would include meat, dairy, eggs, some seafood. In fact, you have to be careful. Cholesterol has as Stephen points out, a similar molecular, chemically speaking, a similar molecular structure. And those two compounds, the sterols and sterolins, will compete with cholesterol for absorption. So you don't want to create that kind of situation. I try to take those. I take them in the morning, first thing. What is the recommended dosage? 3? These are very small capsules, by the way.
They are quite small, yes. The content of the sterols or sterolins in one capsule would be the same as consuming roughly about 7.5 kilograms of carrot. So in saying that, the dosage is 1 capsule 3 times a day, and as you mentioned, preferably on an empty stomach or away from any animal fat.
If you're watching the show, Josh put up an image of Stephen and myself. That photo was taken December the 16th at 10:20 something in the morning, if I recall from the date on the photograph. We were sitting at a table, and I was interviewing Stephen at that time. It's the first time I had met him in person. I had talked to him many times over the years on the phone, on the air. So we were sitting we were in the Wampanoag of America booth. Wampanoag of America is the distributor for Moducare. Wampanoag of America, of course, makes Kyolic. And there's Stephen. You had a blue shirt on that day, tan pants, and there's my trusty Starbucks to my right. Yeah.
It was great meeting you. Yeah, it was. As you say, it was special after talking so long. After all the times that we've spoken on the phone.
Yeah.
And on the air. Yeah.
Yeah. So, down there, you live in a small town. Is it really small?
No, I think we have a population of about 30,000.
Oh.
So it's a reasonably sized town or village, as you want to call it.
Are you near water?
Yes. There's a large man-made dam or water reservoir which is close to me. It's about 32 kilometers in circumference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fairly substantial size of water.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have also, if the listeners want to Google where I am in my part of the world, it's Hawick, KwaZulu-Natal. And we have the Hawick waterfalls, the falls that go through the center of our village. It's a 110-meter waterfall.
Wow.
That goes through the center of our town. So it's quite a picturesque town.
How far is Durban from where you live?
Durban is an hour's drive.
Do you ever go into Durban much?
Oh, I do. I spend a lot of time in Durban. Durban is very much like Miami.
Really?
In terms of temperature, climate, etc. It's very tropical.
Is it a cosmopolitan city?
It sure is.
Is
the
it?
whole country is cosmopolitan.
Mm-hmm. Moducare. It's sold in fine health stores throughout the United States and other countries as well, right, Stephen?
Yes, we're currently in about 17 different countries around the world, but, the world is very small with the online business that we do have and enjoy. So, yes, to where Moducare actually reaches, one never knows, but it certainly is benefiting a lot of people. I'm very proud to be associated with the brand.
And is there a Moducare website?
There sure is. It's www.moducare.com. It's hosted by our Canadian distributors, but all the questions, answers, scientific facts, publications are all listed on that website.
And Moducare is spelled Moducare. C-A-R-A-E. Care. Moducare. Moducare.com. Stephen, thank you so much. Happy New Year. I'll catch you the next time. We'll be back.
statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Well, we better talk about something. If it's not nutrition, I don't know what it's going to be. This is not sports talk, political talk, so it is Let's Talk Nutrition. We do a lot of talking about it, and we have a lot of fun doing it. It's a serious topic, your health, wellness, and well-being. Make no mistake, I don't take it lightly. This job is on my mind. When I tell you 24/7, believe me, it's always on my mind, always working at it. We love doing this show. It's a privilege to do it. It's a lot of work, but even though we, if you're new to the show, you'll see that I try to have a sense of humor about all of this. Otherwise, it can get pretty dark and depressing, let me tell you. And I try to have as much optimistic, as much optimism as I can muster, notwithstanding some of the craziness that goes on, you know. But you have to have the other day I was talking about hope, and the ingredient for hope, for optimism, is hope. The primary ingredient for pessimism is helplessness and hopelessness. And I am firmly convinced, after almost doing this show 11 years, boy, if you don't have an optimistic sense about you and don't believe in hope and giving people hope, you're doomed in this business. And it has to be realistic, and it has to be authentic. You can't, you don't want to mislead people, but you don't want to be optimistic to the point of being Pollyanna and, the world, everything is just fine and dandy. When necessary, I can get pretty amplified about and animated about things that I think are critical and that will upset me because I just don't think it's right. The one thing that has really, and I didn't start off this way, but the one observation I've made and the one issue that gets to me, really gets to me a lot, is children suffering from diet and lifestyle diseases that they don't need to be experiencing. I think it has hit me hard to see the effects, what's happening to kids. I never thought I would see the day when children would be taking high blood pressure medications and cholesterol medications, having all kinds of orthopedic issues because of the weight that their little bodies are trying to carry around. And the obesity epidemic it's one thing for adults to be obese. I have a lot of empathy and compassion for and try to do my best to help people lose the weight. But it really does bother me to see these children suffering like this. I saw some children over the Christmas when I was on vacation, and I saw some of these youngsters in the mall, and they were just so overweight and struggling to keep up, trying to get through the mall. I remember when I was a kid, my mom took me shopping. It was all she could do to hold me down. I was flying around all over the place. Thin, real thin, and There were hardly any obese children in the neighborhood. It was rare. You see even overweight. Now it's commonplace. I don't think it's right. That's the one thing that has really gotten to me on this show over the years. And the treatment of the elderly. Those two things, I almost lose my objectivity, and I have to be careful because I can get animated about it and very passionate about it. It breaks my heart. Saw this in Starbucks a few days ago. Mom came in with this youngster. The poor thing, she was so overweight, and she was just, she could be no more than 6 years old. And what was she eating? Cookies or whatever her mom bought her. Her mom wasn't in good shape either. Not shocking. And you sit there and you look at it and the thing that really bothers me, I don't see the outrage. I don't see any outrage. I see healthcare professionals getting upset, but in the general population, I don't know if the general population is really aware of the magnitude of the problem. And it's heartbreaking because I know what's in store for those children. Their future is grim. It's grim. The beginnings of heart disease as a child. I don't know. I'm just saying that that's the one thing that has, and I have to be careful that I don't get because I can go off on it, and I have to check myself. But the elderly, and what we do to the elderly, those two things, I admit, when we started the show 11 years ago, I had, I really didn't understand the magnitude of the problem relative to those sectors of the population. But as I've done this show day in and day out, you really get a glimpse of it and an insight in, not just a glimpse, but insight into it. Anyway, but we still have to be optimistic, and we try to, and I keep raising these issues not to pound away at them for the sake of doing that, but to raise our consciousness in hopes that people will, if you can persuade one person to change, get people to think about it, talk about it, it makes a difference. That's where change happens. It happens in the trenches. I firmly believe that. Don't wait for the politicians. To hell with them. They don't, I just don't have any, I don't count on them. I don't wait for them. I can't. And that's just me. 877-897-8255. They're too busy getting elected. 877-897-8255. I'm not too cynical about that, but you get my point. Neil Levin is my guest, and he's up there in Chicago. Always enjoy having Neil on. Neil, welcome back to the show. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I hope that we have a great show.
We will. Why not? We always do.
You said we should be hopeful, so.
Well, with you, I never worry. I'm always hopeful. How is the new year going for you so far?
Very good. I'm not traveling this month or next month, so I have a nice break from that. And I actually found my desk. I don't have to file papers geologically by strata anymore, which I was actually getting good at.
Did you make a New Year's resolution or two, or don't you do that?
I don't do that because I believe we all have the power to change at any moment, and I actually changed during the week before Christmas when I was cleaning up my desk and trying to catch up on things that I'd been putting off because of my travels. So I think that's the way to do it, is to just realize you have the power to change all the time. And yeah, the New Year is a trigger, but so is every day, every month, every medical report, every scare you have. There's lots of reasons to change your love for your family.
Absolutely. And I end the show every day saying your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. And I often say to people, if you don't want to take care of yourself for yourself, take care of it for your children and your wife or your family, because if you get sick, they experience, your deficit and your troubles, and you're healthy, they're wealthy. Yeah, you're right about that. Well put. Go ahead.
Well, it's like life insurance. I don't have life insurance on myself for me. It's for my wife and my family. I'm not going to get the money after I'm gone.
Yeah.
So you're doing things for other people anyway. For your loved ones, you're taking care of yourself and of them, and it's just part of that continuum.
The best health insurance you can have is to have a healthy diet and lifestyle and live it day in and day out. We'll be back.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Are you tired of taking vitamin pills or powders? How about gummy vitamins with high fructose corn syrup or coloring? Finally, you have a choice with Nature's Dynamic whole food gummy supplements and probiotics made by a dad. Imagine getting benefits of your garden in a delicious gummy supplement. Nature's Dynamics utilizes organic, plant-based vitamin and mineral sources with non-GMO, gluten, soy, and dairy-free ingredients in a delicious gummy for the whole family. Nature's Dynamics has Berry Garden gummies made by a dad, multivitamin omega-3 and probiotics for kids, body boost joint relief, whole food bone and calcium gummy, whole food immune and vitamin C gummy, whole food omega-3 gummy, Be Beautiful hair, skin, and nails gummy, prenatal plus gummy, whole food probiotics for digestive support, and body boost energy and wellness multivitamin for him and her in a delicious, easy to digest gummy. To learn more about Nature's Dynamics or to find a retailer near you, visit naturesdynamics.com or madebyadad.com. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by a dad.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Neural Balance with Anandinol. Restore calm, reduce aggression, and increase well-being. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Canavest, from seed to shelf. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Bang, we're back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition 2016. My guest in this portion of the show is Neil Levin with Now Foods, and he is the nutrition education manager for Now Foods. And the theme that he wants to talk about, our time talking today, nutrition myths and misses. And I would add one more M word in there. Neil, welcome back. It would be nutrition myths, misses, and misleads. Let me give you one mislead. It was trending this morning out of Cornell Food Lab, and they were talking about being seduced. I like that headline already. Seduced by the label. And what they were talking about is that when people go to the supermarket and they're choosing foods based on the nutrition label, they can be misled because the nutrition values you see on the labels can substantially, they said, differ based on the recommended serving size, which can have undesired consequences for the consumer. And what they were saying was that smaller, and I'm quoting now, Dr. Elshaway said that smaller recommended serving sizes will let all nutrition values on the label appear small too, independent of the product's actual nutritional composition, close quote. Well, the consequence is when people see that, they end up buying more of the food because they think it's a small portion. The small portion side misleads them into buying more food, more of the product. So there is a mislead for you.
Well, yes and no. There's, some of that does go on, obviously. I think you're seeing less of that. There have been some regulatory changes that, for example, a lot of times now, if you're buying a bottle of a pre-mixed sports drink, protein drink, soft drink, you'll often see the calories for the whole bottle on the front and not just the amount per serving. Obviously, if you're buying a can of soda and it's a 12-ounce can, for example, it's not going to be 2.5 servings. It's not going to be a realistic thing. Some of the regulations do require that the serving sizes be realistic and not be just completely made up and arbitrary, that they be somewhat realistic in terms of what people would actually use or actually would use. So, I do look at labels, and I'm looking at sodium and sugar content and various things like that.
Sure.
And a lot of times when I look at a label, a serving size is, I might look at something and it says 2, 3, 4 servings per container, and the container looks like a 1-serving container to me. It could be a 1-ounce chip bag or something. It's obviously not going to be 2 servings.
Well, they were pointing out, Neil, in the article, that shoppers who read nutrition labels, they said, tend to ignore the smaller recommended serving size and think that these products are healthier than others. They said, quote, the problem is that people are comparing calorie information that is not comparable, close quote. So that's sort of that's the mislead. I think we're doing better with nutrition labels. I agree with you. But this never occurred to me about smaller portion sizes, and which inspires people to buy more of the product. They think that I'm going to need more. It's interesting. Anyway, that's a mislead. But you wanted to talk about myths and misses.
Yes, and some of the issues are, we're in the, as you mentioned earlier, the New Year's resolution phase of the year, and a lot of people are concerned about dieting. And one of the strategies people often do, instinctively perhaps, is to skip meals as a way to lose weight. And There's people who skip meals regularly. There's people who won't eat breakfast, and then they're really hungry by 10 a.m. and they're snacking and they're going for the donuts in the office, or they're getting their lattes and stuff that's crammed full of fats and sugars together, which, as you pointed out, is a bad combination, and because they're not nourishing themselves. And to lose weight, you have to eat. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean you can't fast occasionally. It doesn't mean that having less calories throughout the day isn't a good thing. It is. But you can't just skip meals and expect to lose weight, because you're changing your genetic expression to one of holding on to calories instead of burning calories. Your body wants to be triggered specifically by protein, by the way, to release the metabolism and let you burn calories. So you need healthy fats. You mentioned saturated fats earlier. Mm-hmm. You do need some fats, including saturated fats, in your diet to be able to burn and burn calories. That doesn't mean it should be a major part of the diet.
Right.
You should have tons of calories from fat, but you do need to have that. And as you pointed out, reducing carbohydrates, including refined sugars and processed foods, is critical, as is raising the fiber content in the meals.
Absolutely. Well, points well made. I came across an article. It's very popular these days to talk about eating a lot of small meals throughout the day, and the argument is that it boosts the metabolism. I came across an article where the writer made an argument that is a myth, that eating a lot of small meals through the day, he said there's no evidence to support the idea that it's going to boost metabolism and you're going to lose weight. We come back, I'd like to get your take on that, Neil. My guest is Neil Levin, talking about nutrition, myths, misses, and I would add misleads. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition and Neil Levin on the show, coast to coast.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness, BSN, Finish First, Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils, Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation, Natural Factors, where great health begins, Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless, A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Neil Levin, Nutrition Education Manager for Now Foods, is my guest, talking about nutrition myths, misses, and perhaps even misleads. Neil, welcome back. What do you make of that assertion that eating a lot of small meals throughout the day boosts metabolism, therefore helps people lose weight?
Well, it can do that, or it can do the opposite depending on how that's done, because if you take the current food and current calories you're eating during a day, let's say you're eating them over 3 meals, and you split it up over 4 meals instead, then you're not changing your calories, but you're changing the amount of calories consumed at one time. And that is likely to lower the blood sugar spikes after a meal and result in a more sustained energy, especially if there's protein at each of these meals or snacks. If you are adding calories by doing that, or adding so-called meals that don't have much protein that would trigger metabolism, then it's going to backfire on you. You're just going to be adding calories and not increasing metabolism and not controlling blood sugar. So it depends on how it's done. It's not simply a matter of eating more meals.
And metabolism is anabolism and catabolism both. It's both breakdown and buildup. A lot of people misunderstand what metabolism is all about in the first place. Isn't that right?
Well, sure. Exercise does not build muscles. Exercise stresses muscles, and if you have proper nutrition, you can then rebuild and remodel those muscles using proteins as a basis, raw material, to actually respond to that environmental challenge of exercise. And we've all heard about, for example, baseball pitchers with larger pitching arms. Both the bone and the muscle in that arm are bigger because of the exercise they have.
Sure.
There's a response to the environmental stresses, in this case pitching or whatever else is being done, but it does result in the ability to build a larger muscle and larger bone in response, as long as there's enough supporting nutrition.
And to be clear, and don't mean to be sound too wonky about this, but metabolism is the process by which your body will break down food and then convert the food. Notice I said convert the food to energy. That's what metabolism is. It's two steps: the breaking down and the rebuilding processes. One called anabolism, which is the break. You have anabolism or constructive metabolism, and catabolism, which is the breakdown or destructive metabolism. So that's what metabolism is. I mean, there's so much nonsense out there. Eating hot peppers. There's floating around. Eating a lot of hot peppers, drinking a lot of green tea boosts metabolism. You'll lose weight. True or false?
Well, eating hot peppers does improve circulation. It doesn't necessarily speed up metabolism.
Exactly.
But you know what? It can heat you up. Have a thermogenic effect, which could burn calories.
Could.
So there is some truth in some of these things, but you shouldn't rely on them too much.
You were, in terms of these myths and misses, you mentioned in your notes to me negative opinions on the quality of vegan versus meat protein. Clear that up, please.
Well, there's a lot of people who think that eating proteins like soy protein, green pea protein, rice protein, etc., is not as good a source of protein as getting protein from meat or milk or eggs. And all you have to do is look at, for example, a deer which is all muscle, and people are glad to hunt them in many cases and eat their meat. And it's a good source of protein, but they're making that protein by eating greens. They're not making that protein from eating meat. So it is possible and quite common in the animal world for vegetarian animals to have good muscles. Look at elephants. They're hundreds of pounds of muscle on one of those animals. They're not predators. They're not scavengers. They're eating greens and making muscle. So you can eat plant foods and make muscle, and it has very good results. I'm sure you're familiar with the green zones of people eating more legumes in their diet and having more longevity. Places like Okinawa, where they're using soybeans, or other cultures like the Greek and Cretan cultures, where they're eating the Mediterranean diets and having more longevity. And a lot of that's related to exercise, community living, getting omega-3 fatty acids in their diet. But there's a direct correlation of the amount of legumes they eat, the peas and beans and pulses, and their longevity. And soy protein's a good example. There's a lot of people who think they can't eat soybeans if they've had, for example, breast cancer or have prostate concerns. And there's actually no evidence in the scientific literature to support that. And if you go to the American Cancer Society's webpage, type in soybeans, they will tell you there is no evidence that people who have had breast cancer need to avoid soy products. And soybeans are a legume. You don't hear that about eating pinto beans. Don't have a burrito if you've had breast cancer, or if you're a man and you're worried about your prostate health. You don't hear that about hummus or falafels. Don't have hummus if it doesn't happen. There's a discrimination against soy, which I've actually tracked down to the pro-breastfeeding communities. Part of that has become anti-soy to discourage people from using formulas. And they've used, in some cases, inappropriate speculations to raise concerns about the safety of soy. Now, there is a class of soybeans that is harmful to people, in my opinion.
And that would be?
And that's GMO soy.
Okay. Let's go to, do I have this right? Butternut, Wisconsin? Stephen? Is that right? We come back, we'll talk to Stacy in Butternut, Wisconsin, and we'll see what her question or her comment is. You are listening to Neil Levin on Let's Talk Nutrition. Neil is the education manager for Now Foods. Visit their website. It's a very rich information website. Lots of information there. Visit their website. Now, is it nowfoods.com?
That's correct.
There we go. 877-897-8255. That's the number that Stacy called in Butternut, Wisconsin. We'll talk to her when we come back. You can call that and use that number as well. It's toll free, and that number can be used coast to coast. We'll be back.
Coenzyme Q10 is a powerful antioxidant nutrient. It protects against free radical damage, supports heart function, energy production, and immune response. Aging reduces our ability to absorb CoQ10 from our diet, so supplementing with a highly absorbable form of CoQ10 is the first step to ensuring optimal levels in the body. Secondly, typical CoQ10 supplements are in a ubiquinone or non-reduced form. For the body to use that type of CoQ10, it must first convert it to ubiquinol or the reduced form. QH Absorb is Jarrow Formula's highly absorbable and bioavailable CoQ10 supplement. Not only is QH Absorb more absorbable than traditional CoQ10 supplements, but as ubiquinol, it's already in a reduced bioavailable form. Your body can use QH Absorb without having to do any conversion work. Ask specifically for Jarrow Formula's QH Absorb at your favorite vitamin retailer. For more information on QH Absorb, go to jarrow.com. That's JARROW for the best and highly absorbable bioavailable CoQ10 supplements.
Hi, Hi, I'm Kate. I try to eat a healthy diet, but the irony of eating healthy foods, like broccoli or beans, is that even though they're healthy for us, they can still cause occasional digestive upsets. That's why I take a Digest Smart high-potency enzyme with every meal. Digest Smart is from Renew Life, the digestive care experts. It's the first digestive enzyme certified by Izyme, the International Enzyme Testing Program. Each capsule provides a full spectrum of 25 powerful plant-based raw enzymes to break down each major food group, including carbs, fats, proteins, and fiber. Digest Smart enzymes also feature targeted delivery capsules to reach your intestines, where 90% of digestion occurs. Digest Smart promotes more complete breakdown of the foods you eat and optimizes nutrient availability. Plus, it helps ease digestive upsets and supports your overall digestive health. Now that's really smart. Digest Smart is from the makers of Ultimate Flora Probiotics, and both are available in health food stores everywhere.
Are you or someone you love being held captive by social anxiety, poor sleep, feelings of aggression, or inability to focus? Neural Balance can help, and it's kosher certified and GMO-free. Neural Balance is a tasty drink mix that contains the patented ingredient, anandinol. Anandinol was created by an endocrinologist and a pharmacist seeking an herbal solution to their own children's struggles. Neural Balance tastes great, it's easy to administer, and starts to work within the first 20 minutes by reducing anxious or aggressive behavior and restoring calm naturally, without sedation or harmful side effects. Safe for children and adults, Neural Balance combines magnesium, CoQ10, B6, 3 types of passiflora, and a special blend of enzymes to bring peace, calm, and focus. To find Neural Balance at a health store near you, visit us at shopneuralbalance.com. Neural Balance, for a balanced life. Learn more at shopneuralbalance.com.
Did you know that when it comes to supporting whole body health, there's an herbal supplement that may be as important as your daily multivitamin? Discover Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter. Formulated to support a whole body, healthy inflammation response, an ongoing natural process and part of the body doing its job. We often think of the inflammation response as something we can feel, such as where there are sensitive nerve endings. But did you know that we can also have an inflammation response we can't feel? And whether we are aware of it or not, our inflammation response can affect the whole body. Zyflamend is a patented blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, that help balance and support your body's natural, healthy inflammation response for overall health and wellness. And it's clinically tested. Discover the premier herbal supplement for whole body health from New Chapter, Zyflamend Whole Body. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local fine health food store.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by NeoCell, the true science of collagen. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Nutrix Hawaii, more nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. It was a story I wanted to get to earlier and I couldn't work it in, so I'll work it in as form of a question. This is a men's health question. And, you know, you see a lot of commercials for ED. and all these different medications for men who suffer from ED. And this story comes out of University of East Anglia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have no clue where that university is, but the study looked like a pretty good study. It was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, by the way. And here's the question. Which of the following foods are associated with a reduction in ED? That's good news for men. A, blueberries. B, citrus fruits. C, red wine. Or D, all of the above. In the study, what did they find helped reduce the dysfunction called ED? It's erectile dysfunction is what it is. Is it A, blueberries, B, citrus fruits, C, red wine, or D, all of the above? 877-897-8255. 877-897-TALK. Right answer, $25 gift card. This is the first call we've ever had from Better Nut, Wisconsin. That I know for sure. Stacy, welcome, and you have distinguished yourself on the show.
Hi, Dr. Garko. Thank you so much.
Where is Better Nut? I hope is it close to Worst Nut?
No, we're just north of Park Falls, not too far, maybe about 40 miles.
Okay. And is it small town?
Yes, very small.
Uh-huh. You born and raised there?
No, actually, I'm from Michigan originally. My husband and I just moved here not too long ago.
Is it nice there? Is it nice to live there?
It is. It's just very cold right now.
I'm sure it is in Wisconsin. Well, I really appreciate you listening to the show. This is the first call we ever had from that town, and we're delighted to have you on. What did you want to ask?
Well, you've been talking about New Year's resolutions, and one of the things that I've always done is I try to stay really slim, and I don't eat as much as I should probably, and I skip meals as a result of that. So I tend to eat a very large breakfast in the morning, but it may not be necessarily healthy because part of it includes a bagel. So I miss lunch until much later in the day, and then I can tell I'm feeling very sluggish and tired. So
sure, you don't have enough energy to carry you over. How about the option of eating maybe a little smaller breakfast and then eating lunch?
Yeah, and I know that was something that was just being discussed about eating smaller meals throughout the course of the day. And my resolution has been, maybe eating an oatmeal for breakfast and then a smaller lunch and then continuing on into dinner so that I'm not feeling as full and then,
taking the advice of my distinguished guest who's very smart, he would probably agree with me, have a little bit of protein with every meal, right, Neil?
Absolutely.
If you can find a way, Stacy, to include, maybe I should do this someday on the show. Talk about a reasonable, lay out like an eating plan, some eating plan. Maybe I should do that. But if you can have a little bit of protein with each meal, maybe you have your oat bran. Probably not a lot of protein in that. There's a lot of fiber, a lot of carbs, but you need some protein in the morning. There's always good shakes, protein shakes that you can include. Now Foods has great protein powdered products, right, Neil?
Yeah, I had a smoothie this morning. I used now non-GMO soy protein in there.
There you go. And you like to stay thin. May I ask how old you are?
Sure, I'm 45.
Okay, so it's a struggle at that for anybody at that age. You got hormones, both men and women. Hormones levels are not the same. It's the things that you were able to do, eat 10, 15 years ago, and even quantities, people don't change their diet as they age, and they should. They should accommodate where they are in the life cycle. And I know it's a struggle. I admire you for being mindful of it and wanting to stay lean and whatnot, but you should not put yourself in nutritional jeopardy. You have a comment or two, Neil?
Well, I think you hit it right on. Eating frequent meals is a useful technique as long as you're cutting or maintaining the calories you were eating in fewer meals and getting some kind of protein at the meal. And processed food is always going to be the enemy. More sugar, more fats, more salt, all the things that are going to make them addictive, but not as nutritious as they should be or filling.
Absolutely. And the protein is a wonderful way to create satiety as well. The fiber will create satiety as well. And, what is your weight right now?
I'm fluctuating between 106 and 108.
Okay. So if you went up to 110, 112, the earth isn't going to open. You know what I mean? You're nice and lean, but you got to be careful too, and you got to be mindful of osteoporosis at this stage of the game as well. So I need to talk more about that on the show, and I thank you for bringing up the issue. I don't know if we answered your question or we helped at all, but
yeah, you helped a lot.
Okay, stay tuned and keep calling me back. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go to Nicosa. Barb, welcome to the show. In this study, they found that something that men could eat would help them with ED. Was it blueberries, citrus fruits, red wine, which they would drink, or was it all of the above? Which one?
All of the above.
All of the above. Exactly right. So eat your blueberries, citrus fruits, and drink a little wine. I would encourage the men in the audience. Congratulations, Barb. We appreciate you calling. We appreciate you listening to the show. You won a $25 supplement gift card.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening. Neil, thank you so much for always being on. Please visit Now Foods, nowfoods.com, one of the best supplement companies in the business. And we always enjoy having you on, Neil.
I appreciate it. Stay healthy, my friend.
You do the same. Always learn something when you're on. I say that every time you're on because I do. We had a great week. All the shows are on demand at letstalknutrition.com. The audio and the video is found there. We appreciate your listenership, every single person and every single market that we're on. No market is taken for granted. We love you, and we love you, and we love you. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.